The NBA restart kicks off tomorrow for the San Antonio Spurs when they face the Sacramento Kings. Sports Night analyst Richard Oliver joining us now. And Richard, the Spurs, coming off of their 3 exhibition games, they went 1-2 in that span. However, their win was the most recent game against the Indiana Pacers on Tuesday. What was the biggest takeaway for you in terms of those 3 exhibition games, and how confident are you about this Spurs team as they head into the restart?
Well, speaking of those 3 games, I will take the Pacers game, the last one. Let's just use that one as the example, because the other 2, a little sloppy, a lot of turnovers, defensive breakdowns, a lot of what we saw during the regular season, which kind of concerned me a little bit. I know they're preseason and there's a lot of rotations and things happening, but those 2 games, it looked like some things were being sorted out. The game against the Pacers, it looked like they kind of found their mojo a little bit. And I like that because they looked a little more about like the team that beat Dallas in the last game before we had this break than the team that was early in the season having so many problems with inconsistency and everything else. So I take away from that, I love the fact that they let the Greyhounds run every once in a while. How many times have you and I talked over, not just this season, but last season, get the kids out there, let them do something. You know, this is a rebuilding situation. Let's see what they can do when you get them all out there. Well, the Spurs got them out there, and it was really kind of fun to watch. Will Hardy coached that last game, was the head coach, air quotes, of that last game. And I knew because he's always had that kind of mentality. He loves those young guys. Got them all out there. And how about Keldon Johnson? Jill, I tell you what, this guy's 7 of 8 shooting in that last game. And what a bulldog on defense. I mean, I know this is an Oak Hill Academy guy. He's from Kentucky. They drafted him number 1. He's still just a pup. I think he may have just turned 20. You look at this guy and you think, now that's the future. This is a guy that's going to step forward and be something special. So I have some cautious optimism heading into these games, these regular season games. The Spurs have got to win at least 5 of them, obviously, at least 5. But you know what? If they look like they looked against Indiana, maybe we can nurse some optimism.
You mentioned Keldon Johnson and his increase in minutes, as well as the rest of the younger players, Lonnie Walker seeing more time in those 3 exhibition games. However, now that we're shifting focus to these 8 regular season games, how big of a role do you see this youth movement playing?
I think obviously it's going to be huge. I mean, when you look at DeMar DeRozan, this is an important little stretch for him. He's got to make some decisions off the court regarding his contract and things like that. Rudy Gay is still showing people he can still play some basketball and what he wants to do in the long run. But it's the young players that the Spurs are going to go as far as these young guys take them. I mean, as we get down to it in a short span, an 8-game span, this is a sprint now for the Spurs, which is kind of such a unique thing when you think about a regular season like this, where the Spurs have had this long break and all of a sudden it's a sprint. This is a 400 meters. You're going to go full tilt the whole time. You need those legs out there, and I think the Spurs discovered a little something when they get Keldon Johnson out there, or even just take him out bring him off the bench. But Derek White has played some great basketball. I mean, and of course, DeJounte Murray has played some wonderful defense. I could go down the checklist of Lonnie and everybody else, but those are the guys that are going to step forward and show a little something. And again, and you and I love this guy. I'll bring him up again. He doesn't come up in these discussions about the young guys very much, but Jakob Poeltl. The guy played very well in camp. He's played very well in these preseason games, and he's so important to this team right now. Without LaMarcus Aldridge and without Trey Lyles, they need to get him in there. Jakob Poeltl is the guy that's going to carry him in the middle of that lane.
The Sacramento Kings are one of 4 teams ahead of the Spurs, vying for that 8th and 9th seed. How crucial are these first several games, especially this first game tomorrow night?
It'll set the tone for everything. And obviously we'll know in the first game, 2-3 games here, hey, the Spurs have an opportunity or they don't have an opportunity. It'll be all development or it'll be actually a push for the playoffs. I think we'll know that after this game. I think we're going to know, because every single game is so crucial. How the Spurs come out against the Sacramento Kings is going to tell us exactly where they are mentally, physically, system wide. How are they employing these players, these rotations, all those different things. I think this game is critical, Jill. I think we'll know by the end of it if the Spurs don't perform very well, then we'll know, okay, you know what, mentally they may not be ready for this push. If they come out there and play some pretty good basketball and win the game, then all of a sudden, you know what, it puts a little more pressure on the guys they're chasing.
We'll wait and see. 7 p.m. tip-off tomorrow night against the Kings on Fox Sports Southwest. Richard, as always, thank you so much.